Welcome to a journey through time and culture as we explore the dawn of civilization in ancient China. Today we delve into the emergence of state societies, a pivotal epoch that shaped the course of human history in this vast region.
This presentation is brought to you by
Alisdair Webster,
Patrick Cowan,
Shiwei Jiang,
and Darryl Brenton, whose scholarly archaeological analysis will guide us through the fascinating archaeological findings that offer a window into the early state development in China.
Our presentation begins in the Sichuan province in the Chengdu Plain, starting our journey at the Baodun archaeological site in Xinjiang County, a significant locale that provides critical evidence of early societal complexity and urban planning.
In the next few minutes, enjoy these maps and photos as we will explore this site along with other key locations, piecing together the story of early Chinese civilizations through the groundbreaking archaeological evidence. Join us as we uncover the roots of the statehood and the civilization in ancient China.
as articulated by Liu and Chen 2012, to decide which Neolithic culture qualifies as a state revolves firstly around how one defines a state, as opposed to a mobile hunter and gather group, segmentary society or chiefdom. Criteria such as population, social, religious and economic structures, settlement patterns and architecture all have to be considered.
Summary of the Baodun and Sanxingdui site. In the quest of understanding the origins of state societies or civilizations in China, the archaeological site of the Baodun and Sanxingdui stand out as the significant evidence of early complex societal structures.
The Baodun site is located in the Shenzhou Plain and dates back to around 2700 to 1700 BCE, covering a wide area that varies from 7 to 243 hectares. Baodun shows evidence of sophisticated agricultural practices and urban planning. Noteworthy are the extensive walled settlements which speak to an advanced organisation, skills and social structure. The community thrived on rice and foxtail millet agriculture, adapted meticulously to the local environmental conditions with innovations like paddy fields for rice and dryland areas for millet. These agricultural practices supported significant demographic shifts and transformations within society, indicating a movement towards a more complex societal form, indicative of early state structures.
The Sanxingdui site, on the other hand, provides insight into the culture that flourished from the 2800 BC to 1100 BC in the northwest of Guanghua City. Occupying 12 square kilometers, it received the continuous occupation and evolution of the ancient Zhou cultures. The perceived city walls and sacrificial pits uncovered at Sanxingdui displayed a sophisticated culture with advanced bronze metalwork and unique artistic styles. These artifacts, such as the exotic bronze masks and the secret trees, suggest a society with a rich spiritual and ceremonial life, pointing to complex societal organization.
Both the Baodun and Sanxingdui sites show evidence of societal complexity and urban development that are key characteristics of early states. At Baodun, the evidence lies in the structure of urban planning and substantial agriculture base that supported a large population, indicative of the emerging state society. Sanxingdui's contribution is seen in its cultural richness and technological advance, which suggests it's part of a broader network of regional cultures interacting and influencing each other.
These sites collectively challenged simplistic notion of the civilization emerging solely from the Yellow River Valley, suggesting that the process of state formations in China was the multifaceted and regionally diverse phenomena.
These interactions between these sites, such as the exchange of technological and agricultural practices, further illustrate the complex dynamics that played a role in the development of early Chinese states.
Around 2000 BC, we see the first characteristics of the classic state society accompanying the early Bronze Age. Centralised power intensified and the beginnings of state organisations appeared at sites such as Erlitou. The Erlitou culture arose suddenly and dominated an area of over 200 square kilometres. This encompassed 500 individual sites of which many were walled. Based on the Central Plains, the Erlitou culture centered around the city of Erlitou. The site covered an area of 5 square kilometers. The Erlitou culture is divided into 4 phases based on ceramic topology. Each phase exhibits an advancement of the key characteristics of a state society. By phase 3, Erlitou had a population of 18,000 to 30,000 residents. Erlitou had the most technologically advanced bronze metallurgy in China, and they also were the largest producer of bronze prestige goods at the time. Erlitou was a highly stratified society and an urban centre with political, ritual and economical importance in the region. During the Erlitou Phase 4 period, we see arrowhead production increase dramatically, indicating military conflict. At the same time, we see 2 other walled settlements at Yanxi and Zhengzhou emerge within the Erlitou region. These settlements are associated with material remains known as the Erligang culture. The emergence of these settlements in the heartland of the Erlitou culture represents the historical development in which the Shang dynasty conquered the Shi dynasty. The material remains of the Erligang culture spread over a much greater region than that of Erlitou. Erligang sites were heavily fortified. The military nature of defensive walls suggests increased warfare, and the Erligang had redefined the political landscape, forming a more complex and militarized state-level society. The primary Erligang city of Zhengzhou was 4 times the size of Erlitou and had a population of between 80 and 130,000, eventually becoming the primary centre in the Middle Yellow River region. The city was segregated by inner walls, with mainly the elites occupying the inner city, while commoners who engaged in craft production resided in the outer city.
In summary, the Erlitou and Erligang cultures significantly advanced early state society in China through remarkable metallurgical technology, urban planning, and the establishment of stratified social structures, evidencing early centralised governance and complex political dynamics.
The Anyang site, known as Yinxu, is located in Henan province and was a major settlement that covered 35 square kilometers of land. This site is considered the last capital of the Shang dynasty and was occupied between 1250 to 1050 BC. Anyang stands out as a site due to the discovery of oracle bones that could be transcribed, which allowed a glimpse into their society. Campbell noted oracle bones were used to divine the will of their deity, Di, who had authority over harvests, war, weather, and the general fortunes of the dynasty. The religious hierarchy placed Di at the top, followed by the spirits and royal ancestors, which was then followed by the king, positioning them in a privileged position as the center of earthly society. Li and Xingcan note that Yinxu is a highly stratified society, with at least 6 social classes present based on mortuary remains, with the tomb of Fu Hao containing 1,928 items, which included bronzes, jades, ceramics, and objects made of stone, shell, and ivory. Elite burials indicate they were buried in a supine position, meaning they were buried on their backs. Rawson et al. Noted a change in burial practices that coincided with the arrival of chariots, with more bodies appearing in prone position alongside their chariots. The adoption of chariots for warfare indicated the society had started adopting more complex constructions for warfare.
In the context of determining the formation of the state society or civilization, the Western Zhou Dynasty, 1050 to 771 BC, provides key archaeological evidence of the consolidation and expansions of state mechanisms in the ancient China. The Zhou Dynasty established the feudal system characteristics by allocation of land to royal relatives and royal nobles, which marked a complex political structure that was integral to the definition of the state. This era also saw the refinement of the ritual practice, which were codified in the texts of the Zhou rites, underpinning social norms and governance. From an archaeological point of view, Fenghao, the capital city of the Western Zhou Dynasty, located on the bank of the Fen River near today's Xi'an, is a major site. Excavations reveal extensive urban plannings and the use of remote earth to build larger place complexes, indicating advanced management capabilities and social stratifications. In addition, the extent of bronze with the inscriptions used at courts and on ceremonial occasions emphasized the importance of ritual and recorded keeping under maintaining state's authority and social order. Thus, the Western Zhou Dynasty was a clear manifestation of state society, characteristic by the centralization, social hierarchy, and cultural continuities, and played a key role in shaping the trajectory of the Chinese civilization.
In conclusion, our exploration across various significant archaeological sites from the Neolithic period through the Western Zhou Dynasty affirms the diverse origins and complex developments of state societies in ancient China. Sites like Baodun and Sanxingdui underscore the early sophistication in agricultural, urban and social structures, marking them as pivotal in the regional narratives of state formation. The Erlitou and Erligang cultures further exemplify this evolution of state complexity, with evidence of advanced metallurgy, urban planning and stratified societies, indicating a shift towards centralised state power. The Yanyan site, serving as the last capital of the Shang dynasty, reveals through oracle bones and elite burials the intricate social hierarchies and religious practices that defined this early state. Each site contributes uniquely to our understanding of Chinese civilization's early state structures, providing a multifaceted view of its development. Thus, while pinpointing the exact moment of state emergence remains challenging, the archaeological evidence collectively suggests the gradual evolution of state societies in China, marked by a regional diversity and complex intercultural interaction. These findings enrich our understanding of early Chinese civilization and its significant role in the broader context of human history.